What's up, YouTube? Halo Quan Z, back with another one. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah, and all praises to Yahusha, our Savior, the one that crucified his flesh for us to have the Ruach Kodesh. Now, let's quicken the Holy Spirit. Back again with another one, y'all. And this one, okay, so this one right here is going to crucify your flesh still. Because I'm not done with crucifying your flesh. Or your, or your views on the Most High and how we give him our time. Now, since I've talked about forgiving the Most High, I've talked about having empathy for the Most High Yahuwah and Yahusha. I've talked about having sympathy for them. I've talked about having mercy for them because remember, your relationship with them are just like the people you deal with every day. It's no different, okay? So I'm going to preface this by saying that first. Now, a lot of us fall into the trap of giving up things begrudgingly to the Most High Yahuwah. Like sometimes we find ourselves where we have to give something up and giving our time begrudgingly to the Most High, like feeling bored. Did you know that the Most High don't want to feel like he's taking advantage of you? He doesn't. That's not his goal. And a lot of times, if the Most High is not responding to something that you've asked him for, or if your communication is off with the Most High Yahuwah, it's because you're giving up something, or you're giving your time or your prayers begrudgingly. Just like just like he says in his word, be a cheerful giver. Well, you also have to take that with your personal relationship with the Most High. And I'm not talking about reading his word. Reading his word helps you to understand how he operates. But if you remember what I said, the Most High Yahuwah, he obeys obedience. He serves a servant. He submits to submission. He's loyal to loyalty. And above all else, he's loyal to wisdom and righteousness. Well, if we find ourselves praying begrudgingly because of maybe a loss, maybe a potential loss, maybe something that you got going on in a situation where you're in jeopardy or in desperation, the Most High don't want to feel like he forced you to pray. He don't want to feel like he had to chastise you, because that's what he has to do. Like, he will chastise you. However, he needs to see a steady consistency in your chastisement, like your self-crucifixion. Your self-crucifixion. A lot of times we don't take out the time to, read this word to crucify our flesh or our feelings about the Most High. Like, a lot of times like I said, a lot of times we ignore his feelings. I mean, just think about it. When you feel like you're taking advantage of somebody, it feels bad. It's like you don't even want them to do it for you no more because they don't want to do it, right? And so, like, a lot of times the Most High feels that way, but we're unaware where. Like when you don't get a response though. And I'm saying that to say this because I'm guilty of it. Like I've done it. Like I still do it. Like I still do it, and I still have to crucify myself, and still have to, you know, put myself in the shoes of the Most High. I just got done walking outside, and I just thought about it, and I thought about this, and I was like, you know what, y'all, you probably feel like that all the time. And I should probably let people know that you feel like that because it's like if he forcing you to do something, it's like grape. We can't say the word, you know what I'm talking about though. And so like he don't want to feel like he's doing that to you. Remember, he got emotions and feelings just like we have. If we if we weren't created in his image, he like we were created in his image. So that means the way you feel, especially if you're a kind-hearted, genuine individual, and you might be kind-hearted and genuine to the people around you, and those people around you might even take advantage of you a lot of times. However, we take advantage of Yahuwah all the time, and we don't realize it. And when it happens, we don't think to ourselves that, like, when we're doing something, like when we get bored reading his word, when we don't experience joy by giving our time to understand him, though, not just his knowledge, but also learning more about his feelings and emotions through this process. Like, it's a generating energy. Like, remember what I said about give and give? Give and give is a generation of energy. So when you're giving and giving, like you give to the Most High, He'll give to you. Give to the Most High, He'll give to you. And then it becomes a spinning wheel. Well, that spinning wheel, it generates a magnetism. Okay, so you're excluding your own personal feelings up out of it, and you're considering his, while simultaneously he's considering yours after he's acknowledged that you've been consistent for a while. Like, and it generates a magnetism for things to go correctly in your life. However, he has to see that consistency. And when you speak with him, when you pray to him, when you actually, when you're actually showing him gratitude for the little things that he's doing for you, or not just that, but also considering how he feeling at the time about you. And like most people don't know this because most people like to deny the power thereof. So they like to shortcut his power. They like to shortcut it. And it's like, you're not supposed to shortcut Yahuwah's power. You're not supposed to shortcut Yahusha's Holy Spirit and the Ruach HaKodesh. You're not supposed to shortcut the power. And that's how people get led into witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. Because, we're looking for that immediate gratification when we do that. Like I said, I'm just as guilty as everybody else. However, I realize what was going on now. Like, especially when I read his word, I realize it. I was just reading Matthew, and we don't seem to have the heart of a child with the Most High Yahuwah. So I was reading Matthew 18. And so I'm going to read it to y'all. I'm going to read Matthew 18, and I'm going to give y'all my commentary. All right? Okay. So, at the same time came when the disciples unto Yahusha, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahusha called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. And I'm gonna continue to go, but with that verse, I'm gonna speak on that verse. What that's saying to me is when we have a childlike heart, childlike, not childish, there's a big difference between childlike and sometimes I'm childish. And a lot of us are, but I'm speaking on a childlike spirit to the Most High. When you're a child, you give pretty much effortlessly. I don't think people realize that. Like when we have the heart of a child, a humble child, or a childlike heart, we look to the Most High like our Father in heaven. We look to Yahusha like our Father, really. Like, but we look to Him like our leader. Now, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. You see that? Like, when you disrespect one of his children, it would be better for you to be drowned in the sea. He says that. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the everlasting fire. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into the life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into the hellfire. Take heed that ye despise not one of these children, these little ones. So, I mean, the heart of a child having a childlike heart is very crucial in your relationship with Yahuwah. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father, which is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How think ye if a man have 100 sheep and one of them be gone astray? Doeth he not leave the 99 and goeth into the mountains and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, Verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than the 99 which went not astray. So remember, us, the ones that was lost and turned back onto him, he has a great joy for them because they have that experience of misfortune and being led astray or gone astray, and then they found their way back. Like he found them, and they turned back to him. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established. Meaning, when you settle things, you try to settle it in private first. And then, if things don't go well in private, well, you take two or three brothers that are established in the Most High, and, y'all have a conversation. It doesn't mean to argue or be upset with one another, because it blatantly states that we shall not debate our brethren, right? And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen and a publican. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall it be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And then came Peter to him and said, Master, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Yahusha saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Pretty much infinite. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king which would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, and which owed him 10,000 talents. But for so much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and worshiped him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Then the master of that servant was moved with compassion and loosened him, right? And forgave him the debt. So he forgave his debt. He showed him mercy. But The same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants, which owed him 100 pence, and laid hands on him, and took him by the throat, saying, "Pay me that thou owest." So you know he didn't forgive. You see how that that master forgave, for pay it forward, even though it didn't say he forgave. When you forgive a debt, is uh, when you loosen the debt, that's a type of forgiveness. And so, and he was grateful for it, but he didn't show that same mercy in return. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet and besought him, saying, "Have patience with me, and I will pay thee all." Right? So he did the same thing that that man did. And he would not, but went to cast him into a prison. So he went to cast that man into a prison till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told on to their master all that was done. Then his master, after that, he called him. So then his master, after that, he called him. He said unto him, "O thou wicked servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou desiredest me. Shouldest not thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I had pity on thee?" And his master was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. And I'm gonna leave it at, that was the whole chapter, Matthew 18. Y'all can read it for yourselves. But but yeah. So with that whole chapter, that's a long list of how we should treat our brethren, but also I keep under consideration that we supposed to treat him that way. Remember, we seek forgiveness. We forgive him for what he allows us to go through. Forgive. But then we also forgive our brethren for what they make us go through, because we don't realize we're being treated like that, because we didn't think about Yahuah's feelings and emotions too. And so like there's a if you read that whole chapter, you can get so much out of it. Like I done got a lot out of that chapter, and I'm sharing my insight, but I also would like for you to read it so that you understand that I'm not saying it. I'm not saying this for my help. When we give, we don't give like, but when we give, we don't give begrudgingly to the Most High. Like when we give up our time, when we give up our heart, when we give up our mind, when we take time to read His Word, when we take time to read, but also communicate, because we still have to communicate with the Most High. Like we'll take and absorb His knowledge, and then not even talk to Him. And that you're not supposed to do that. Like, like sometimes you gotta put the book down and actually give Him your time. Like it has to be actual a momentum of giving your time actively. Like you have to actively pray. Like you have to actively seek to glorify Him. Like I said, remember, make Him feel special. It's the same thing. Like He don't want to feel like He taking advantage of us. So a lot of times we find ourselves, wanting to be stimulated by all the information, but not actually practicing the information, but we want to deliver the information or try to point a finger when really we're supposed to crucify our own flesh. Remember, be like childlike. When you give your time to the Most High Yahuwah, don't give it so begrudgingly. And do your best to not get bored. Cause look, I ain't gonna hold you. I done got bored at one point. And I didn't get, and then there was one point where I wasn't excited about the word or reading the word. But what changed my heart about it is thinking about his emotions and feelings. And then me thinking like, hey, man, especially when you think about how people treat you. Like when I think about how people treat me, like a leper or like, or like, kind of fearfully sometimes or not really considering how I feel. Like, then that means that in my mind, I'm like, okay, I must not have considered how the Most High felt today. Or I must not have given him his proper due glory today. When you give up your time and give up your worship and not as the heathens, not out here praying in public or shouting or giving shouts out to the Most High, where like the heathen, for they remember, for verily I say they have their reward, right? They have their reward. But no, in secret, you have to give him your personal time and acknowledgement. So when you give him your personal time and acknowledgement, it can be tedious, especially with fasting. Like when you're fasting, people are aggravated when they fast. It's a hard task to do. I know because I do it. I've done it. So it's like, and I still do it. So it's become a lot easier. It becomes a lot easier as you grow. But when you first start off, Yahweh don't really want to make you. He don't want to feel like he forcing you to do something you don't want to do. That's why he gave us free will, because he's not trying to force us to do stuff that we don't want to do. Like remember, cheerful giver. Treat him like he's living and breathing. Don't treat Yahusha the same way. Like Yahusha's living and breathing. Like he was raised from the dead and still alive and well. So that he knows that you know. And so that he can get his proper glory. He don't want to feel like he's taking advantage of you. None of them. That's why they never forced anything on anyone. And then on top of it, when I notice stuff out here, like I said about the Holy Spirit being removed, I see it all the time. And these younger people, I grieve them. I grieve them because a lot there's a lot out here that's not moving with the spirit of the Most High, and that's because they either environmental reasons or whatnot. But like I said, people's consciousness and cap is being so removed. You got to make sure that your relationship with the Most High is good so He can protect you from the jeopardy that might come off when you interacting with people. That's why I say, like, it's very crucial that you don't practice certain iniquities in likeness. Like, don't be trying to practice iniquity and then thinking that everything gonna be sweet. It's not. Fornicating. It's not gonna be sweet. It's not. You're gonna come out with some type of jeopardy or pain or whatever the case may be. Like, you're gonna feel some type of loss if you're just fornicating with no, or out here just trying to validate your ego with no purpose. Like, seriously. I know because I've experienced it. So it ain't nothing for me to put myself in crucifying my flesh and putting myself out here on the chopping block. Like I said, if you ever find me twisting up the scriptures, not, you know, giving the Most High His proper due, or even edifying y'all and making y'all feel special, because I thank each and every last one of y'all for actually listening to the message and actually trying to understand what I'm saying. Because, some people might just listen in passing and go, not even like the video. And that's fine, because they might not like the video. I encourage people to watch the whole video before you even like the video, to be honest. Don't ever, I want y'all to listen to the whole message before you like a video that I put out. Like, don't just come in liking my video. It's cool. You don't have to. But like, now, if you feel strongly enough to like the video because you feel like I might have a good message, then like the video. But other than that, I would never force y'all to do something y'all don't want to do. It's not in my character. And that's not the reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this to put the Most High feelings and emotion to the forefront of your life, so that you understand that, when you giving your time to the Most High YAHUAH and YAHUSHA, consider, am I giving my time begrudgingly? Like, consider that. Like, because some people, like, it'd be a lot of people that give their time begrudgingly and don't even know it. It's an unaware thing. Like, they'll give their time to chastise others about their behavior without honestly even going back and thinking about how the Most High would feel about them. And that's a no-no. Yahuwah not going for that. He not going for that. And I know, because I done seen it in His word. And the way I see the scriptures, I see it from trying to understand things from the way He sees things. Like, not just that. I understand y'all by the fact that I've also been in y'all position, everybody's position. I've been out here, like, doing bad things, or, I done found myself in iniquities. Thankfully, Yahuwah and Yahusha has graced me to still be alive or survive these iniquities. But it's never been just, me thinking to, because I've always had good intention. But remember what I said in my last video. Yahuwah don't care nothing about my intention. He'll let everything go left and let Satan crash out of my life and say, "Oh, nah, none of that's going." He'll kick everything I thought I had on the table. I'm like, nah, get this off. Like, remember how he went in that church and knock down all the stuff from the Pharisees trying to sell items in the church. That's how he do when we think that we doing something. Yeah, it'll knock you down if you get haughty in spirit. Get haughty in spirit. Yeah, he'll make sure that he humble you. He will. He done it to me, so I know for certain that he will do it. If a person get too high and mighty, he will knock everything that they got on that table off, and it ain't no. And then you gotta have a long process and consistency of even in your repentance for him to even, you know, pick you back up for real. Because most of us have a bad habit of trying to rely on ourselves to get ourselves out the situation. And that's a no no. Like we supposed to ask Yahuwah still. Like, but we still have to be in service of the Most High Yahuwah. Like servitude. Like give your time, give your concentration and attention begrudgingly, give it freely, happily, but also when you give to his people, give freely. Treat people like they're children of the Most High. And, those that are in iniquity, you still got to treat them kind. You still have to be gentle towards them. You can't be out here slandering folks or putting, making people feel like you just can't do it. Like that's gossip. So and that's a sin. So when you're gossiping about somebody or putting them on the chopping block for no reason, that's a sin. It is a straight up sin. And Yahuwah, he will definitely show, because the heart in your character shows. It's never, the Most High is taking your heart and your mind towards him under consideration. And yeah, I've been listening to what's this? I was listening to a video by Greg Brayton. It was Greg Brayton, and he was talking about the heart and mind coherence. And a lot of his videos have good insight. However, it's only half of the picture. Like when I listen to his videos, I know what's being left out. And it's like, why is he doing it? Now I don't know if he's aware or unaware, but he has it. Check out his videos. He has a lot of good videos, so I ain't trying to get too far off into his videos. Watch it for yourself. But at the same time, I see a lot of the information. But one thing you should never do is deny the power thereof. YAHUAH and YAHUSHA. People be trying to shortcut his power. Stop doing that. He got emotions and feelings just like we do. He not his feelings get hurt. Okay? Y'all's feelings get hurt. Y'all's feelings get hurt. Y'all need to remember that. They feelings get hurt. And so when they allow Satan to crash out on you, or they back out of your life, or they allow you to go through certain tribulations, a lot of times it's because it's special to him and he's chastising you. He's chastising you. He's trying to see if you're gonna come up out of it, or are you gonna be given over to your to being conscienceless or merciless, because that's what a lot of people do. And then sometimes they'll fall into this trap of talking negatively or poorly about someone, unaware or even aware. sometimes, and they don't even know it. I've been guilty of it. So that's why I say, be careful about like how you please the Most High when you give Him your time. Don't call yourself getting bored with Him sometimes. Like, you know, that's why I said sometimes just give Him your time because like He'll show you things that you've never seen before. He showed me things I've never seen before, but I consider Him special in my life now. Like it's not like I see it. Matter of fact, He's the most majestic thing that I've ever seen. Yahuwah and Yahusha, they're both the most majestic beings I've ever seen because, like, they gave me something to see from them. So I have to come in the name of the Son, just like He came in the name of the Father. I come in the name of His Son, Yahusha. To come in my own name or to value my own worth higher than theirs is an iniquity. I would never, ever place confidence in myself again. Like, because I used to place confidence in my own self, in my own, what is it? Self, what is it? Just being resourceful or just being, just self-regulated. Like, and we're not self-regulated. Yahuwah gives us breath. Yahuwah gives us the breath. He breathes life into us every day. We don't know it because we don't pay attention sometimes. Uh, but yeah, just sitting here, just counting ourselves, or just calling ourselves independent of help from the Most High or even others, like is still an iniquity because count ourselves as high and mighty when we do that. Yahweh places great importance on being in humility. And so, and I see that, and I understand why too, because He don't want us to get so high-minded that we push Him out the way. You know what I mean? And that's why I said, like, treat Him like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you counts for Yahuwah too. It don't just count for humans. It count for Him too. So like, if you want Him to serve you, you gotta serve Him. Like, if you want Him to submit to you, you gotta submit to Him. If you want Him to, whatever request that you have. But it's not going to come easy, especially if you've been in iniquity for a while. If you've been in iniquity for a while and you have to overcome it, it's not like it's not going to happen as fast as you would like it for it to. Because you've been in iniquity for a while and he needs you to change. He done he done pulled you out of it, and now he like, okay, look, I'm going to need to sit you still. And I'm gonna need you to change. Like, trust me. Shit. Excuse my language, but I'm going through that now. So I understand. Now, don't get me wrong. He's been merciful, very merciful in my situation. But at the same time, I understand how the Most High Yahweh feels. Like, it's just like, just think about if you try to force a woman to do something she don't want to do, right? Most men don't want that. Like, if you're a good man, if you're a rational, logical man, or confident, like if you're confident in you being a man, that's not how you want it. Like, you want the woman to want you. You don't want it. Like, you don't want it to. You don't want her to give herself to you begrudgingly. And that's how it is with the Most High. He don't want us to give our time to him begrudgingly. Same thing. And all this self sufficiency. Like, yeah, that's the word I was looking for earlier, self sufficiency. Like he not looking for us to be self sufficient. Like he looking for us to be sufficient and being obedient to him, but he needs us to depend on him, just like us men want our women to depend on us when we're taking care of a household. It's the same, like it's the same relationship. The children, they want to depend on their mother. Like they should depend on their mother. Like the mother will want them to depend on her to get everything done. And this is in a functional household. Okay, so I'm speaking on functional and then functional minds. I'm speaking on righteous behavior. And my next topic is gonna be about these holidays and how we have been spoiled down out here. Like we've been spoiled and we've been feeding a demon. We've been feeding Satan. Yes, and remember, like if Satan don't get his way, he does crash out. If it like especially, but you never give if you don't give Satan a reason to crash out, he can't. Y'all wouldn't allow it. Trust me, I know. I've been there, and I know he does not. He doesn't. He does. Yahweh does protect good behavior. He does protect your good behavior or your kindness. He protects that. He protects your love and your forgiveness for things that have been done to you. And never ever. Oh yeah, for other content creators, if you find yourself offended by something I did, I understand. If you feel like I have a, if you feel like I'm just seeking clout, I know who you and you know who I'm talking to. If that's the case, I won't even bring you up no ever again, and I apologize seriously. But you know, but on that note, it's still all love. I still watched your great content, so I'll just stay out your face. But with everything else, yeah, I pay attention to how the Most High Yahuwah feels about me. And so that's what I need y'all to do. Don't give your time to him begrudgingly. Make sure that when you give your time to him, it's special. Like, because a lot of times y'all will put yourselves in a position to be giving your time up begrudgingly, where he feel like he's taking advantage of y'all. Y'all will got feelings and emotions, and so does Yahusha. They got feelings and emotions. And y'all really don't know how strongly those emotions are because I don't think y'all look at it the way that I'm looking at it. And I be seeing it in here, but he he give us subtle signs like my Father in heaven does the same way. Like so, remember, give and give it generates a magnetism. Give and give. Like he give to you give to him, he give to you. You give to him, he give to you. And then it generates that wheel of thankfulness and he can help you a lot more fluidly when your relationship's fluid. But he can't really help you if and I'm talking about on the inside. People like on the inside, like you might openly confess. Most people do. They openly confess, but deny the power thereof inwardly. And I'm speaking on your inward behavior, not your outward behavior. Not as not as the charlatans or the Sadducees or the Pharisees or the people that want to be out here in the courts shouting from the rooftops about what they done for somebody or whatever the case may be. Be careful about that stuff because you know, never ever talk about what you done for somebody. Y'all would y'all would detest that. He doesn't like that. He'll send us right into the pits if we don't change that behavior. It's poor behavior. And remember, he doesn't protect iniquity. So when you put people on blast about what you done for them and all that stuff, because I done seen it and I feel like it's a nasty thing to do in the first place. Because you never catch me talking about what I done for somebody. It's all done in secret. I'll be rewarded openly later. And that's something I've been doing my whole life. But if you made it this far, I love you. And if you like the video, like I said, you done listen to the whole video and you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Or, share a comment. If you disagree with something, share the comment. I'll reply to it, and I'll even create a video about it if you would like. But, yeah. It's all love, y'all. This is to crucify your flesh and to make your relationship stronger with YAHUAH, not just in his word, but in your personal relationship with him. It's all love, y'all.